excited for this next hour to kind of facilitate a movement session and translate it into a radio experience. Over the last 5 years, we've received so many questions on what this movement practice is, and we got really excited for the idea to see if we can translate the practice into the radio show.
We came to Brussels, but before then, you already started your journey in Rotterdam. You've broadened out to Paris, and now you started your adventure in Amsterdam.
Yeah. It spreads over all these cities, and I think what's been really a guiding thing throughout the years is that the PULSZ is a mystery, and we like to keep it that way. But just for this next hour, to give a little taster into the movement landscapes that we translate into sound. So just a little bit before, you heard an introduction sound, and we always start with the landscape of entering. It's where strangers become friends. It's where we start to tap into how our body feels, and to check in what our starting point is, but also to start from the individual body and move it into a collective body. And then the second landscape that we're going to dive into a bit later is the landscape of being. And in sound, this is where the sound is continuous and it's nonstop and it's very syrupy. And what we do here is to kind of bring the focus to the individual body, then bring the focus to the self, and we tap into the felt sense. In movement, it's a continuous motion, so one movement flows into a next. And maybe in sound, because I'm very interested, how do you interpret it, the sound landscape of being?
I feel with being, how I first started it, and how I first experienced it as well during my first PULSZ experience session, is very grounded and feeling very heavy, but in a way that is just slow and motionless. I feel there's just this connection to your ears and not per se your body moving very with intention. I feel with being, it's just a more of a letting your ears perceive what surrounds you, and to make sure that you can, come to zero, and then from there on see where the rest of the musical and sound journey takes you. But I feel like for the first landscape, it's just really, I can only describe it with a sound. I'm just like calmness and excitement to feel what is coming. Your body is not filled with different energetic influences. It's just, just one sense, and feeling comfortable in that sense until you reach the next level. It's like this anticipation, but not yet. It's just really grounded is a word that I feel it best describes it. And I also feel like for being, it's, you came from wherever you came from, the outside world, whether it be with a lot of heightened senses, or you just woke up, or you're just about to put your whole days of chaos to rest, and you just come home, you just come to the session, and it's a way to turn that off, or to make sure that your mind resets with a clean slate, and then see where you go from there. I feel like that's a good way that I love that interpretation also. In that sense, it's quite an adventure what we're stepping into now. Like, we're sitting on chairs and we're not moving at all, and how to then bring that experience into and translate it into. And also, when we're together, we really love to talk, so we're very mindful of the excitement that is there. But should we just tap into that first landscape for now? I think.
So that was the landscape of being. Welcome back to the PULSÐ. We're actually trying to, as we said before, trying to translate our movement practice into a radio experience. And the way we do this is by talking about our movement landscapes that are part of the practice, the movement practice. And the way we see this is that the landscapes are kind of like a compass that we can tap in and out of. So sometimes when we're in a club and we're dancing, there are certain moves that feel good, or there are certain ways we act or we behave. And by introducing the movement landscapes, we kind of want to break the patterns, to bring you into unfamiliar spaces and to form a deeper understanding of what it is that your body is moving through, or what it is that your body is telling you. So this is also something that we do on our dance floors or in our practices. And we recently landed in Brussels, so we're super excited to have a monthly session here now with a very beautiful team. And I kind of to dive into the second landscape of what we've been to. The first one was the landscape of being. And I really love that with the team that we work with, so Erykah is part of the sound team, that every DJ or every musician has their own texture and their own flavor of how they translate these landscapes. But moving into the second landscape, it's the landscape of anchoring. And in anchoring, there's more beat that starts to drop into the sound. The beat becomes clearer. And also in movement, there's more clarity coming into the body. So instead of this flowy and honey-like syrup movement,
there's more lines.
There is
structure.
There is shapes moving from the structure of the bones. There's more repetition. And it's like a searching in the body of where do I find that clarity? And with that, how do I stand up for myself? How do I set my boundaries? How do I share my voice? How do I make myself bigger? How do I take space?
I think that's a nice way of putting it. How do I make myself bigger? As in, what you're used to in a club setting of dancing is sometimes very, shy or looking to a dark corner and maybe feeling free there. But now you have this space that you share intentionally with other people. And I feel like it's a nice way to be like, okay, your space here, everyone here is intentionally here for this specific purpose, whereas a club is so broad and you can do anything, or you can do a lot of things in a club setting and dance as well. But I feel like with this space, you have like an opportunity to just get out of your comfort zone. For example, that's for me, that was a big one, is getting out of my comfort zone. My not so usual way of dancing is being tested here in this space, and I think that's a nice way of making myself bigger and taking up space with the attention to just feel and move in that way. So I think that's what I like about what you said about the, I don't know.
I almost have this image in me that it feels like a defrosting. So when you have these flower buds that are frosted in winter, and then in the landscape of anchoring, it's like a releasing, or it's coming out of that frozenness. Or and I also really like to believe that a lot of people that come to our dance floor, that we have to remind ourselves that we're bigger than we think we are. That a lot of times we keep ourselves very small, and then it's to make it a practice to break out of that, and to make a practice of taking space, make a practice of moving bigger, and see what is on the other side, see where that translates into. Yeah.
I agree, and I feel like with anchoring, it's the perfect word. The frosting is, you just enter your second landscape, and you're now starting to look, or it's a bit of a search. How your body moves to the sound that is being offered to you, and might not be music that you're familiar with or that you're comfortable with, but it's that looking to balance it out, the sound in your body. And I feel like anchoring is a great way to, in a comfortable setting, anchoring is the most for me, club experience, which for me creates, okay, there's a clear beat that I can follow, and I can just see how that feels at this moment, and then from there on, see where it goes. And I like anchoring as a second landscape, because it's just a way of, okay, let's see where it goes, this beat and the movements, and I don't know, I feel like that's a good way to start off a second landscape, which is anchoring.
have to get used to this new dynamic of talking and listening, because I kind of want to dive into the movement. So that was the landscape of anchoring. Landscape of anchoring is where we also start to kind of put wood on the fire within, get more energy within the body. And the landscape that we move into after is the landscape of chaos. And in chaos, it's a landscape that kind of speaks for itself. It's where the music builds up to peak. We find this high intensity, and in the body, it's about a releasing, a shaking out, an emptying out. And I notice a lot that in our normal, everyday life, we tend to be so full. Like experience builds up on experience, and in the way the structure of the landscapes this is really a place that emptying out becomes important, because it creates space for newness. So in the sound, it might be a electronic very chaos, or it might be chaotic piano. It can go all these different directions. And in movement, it's not necessarily only to be intense in movement, but to that it can be a soft release or a soft shaking out, as long as the movement doesn't stop, that it's a continuous motion.
No, I agree. I feel, for me, I think chaos is the enjoying, because the chaos could take so long, but it could also be like a short, quick release of chaos. And I think what I enjoy most is that you can feel like, I don't know, it's very cliche maybe to say, but you can feel like your blood is boiling, and you feel like more tingling, or you're more aware of what tingles in your body. And it just ends in this great release. It's just super, I don't know how you say it, super ecstatic and very explosive. I feel like explosive is a good word to comment about how chaos is being introduced in this third landscape. It's very, I don't know how else to say it than releasing and enjoying how uncontrolled your body moves, and also when you see it around you, it's also quite inspiring to see other people and their different ways of releasing energy, releasing. Sorry, we just got a little technical difficulties here, but hopefully you can hear us really well. What we're trying to say is that with chaos, it's just this explosiveness of how people who are behind the sound guide you through this very peak of an experience, and that for me is the way chaos is being described.
I think also something that came to mind when you were talking about chaos. The last thing I also want to say is that I feel a lot of people that join our dance sessions or join an experience like this, they are creatives. And chaos is also very much linked to the creative process, because if our body is too full of ideas and there's no output, there's nothing that goes out, there's also no way for new ideas to come in, so things start to drop into flow. So the movement practice also translates very much to the creative practice, or how we move to our day-to-day, and how we can find these patterns within ourselves. It's like, do we have a difficulty in letting go? Are we holding on to a lot of things? To give insight into how you move to the day-to-day, but then also how to do something about it, and to translate that into your creative work or into your daily movement. Well, let's go for chaos. So that was the landscape of chaos. Yeah, it was chaos. And then the next landscape. So after all that emptying out and creating space, there's a lot of space for newness to come in. So that's when we enter the landscape of creation. And in creation, the music invites this playfulness and this joy and this sense of hope, maybe the sense of belonging. In movement, we get inspired by body parts that we normally might not use, or we start to have from having our gaze inward to look around in the space for who's there, who's with us, and who we feel inspired by. But the most important thing that after that emptying out, your body starts to has space to generate new ideas, to generate new movement. So it's a landscape that constantly transforms. It's never the same, and also in sound, it's never the same. I really love that, especially in the landscape of creation, that all the DJs that are part of our team really bring something completely different to this landscape. And it's also, I think, in the dance floor, even after you're doing the PULSÐ now for 5 years, there's this collective sense of release. After so much chaos, after dancing for, now we do a very short version, but it's dancing super intense. It's like, that the moment of the release is coming, and then it's there. And maybe a last thing I want to say is that it still brings me to tears that this is also the landscape where you see confidence is growing. It's people went through the intensity, and then you see maybe the flower bud that we talked about earlier in this radio show, that it's the frost, like it's frosted, and then it slowly starts to defrost in this landscape. Yeah.
I also feel that with creation, it's very much inspiring landscape, because you're surrounded by other bodies. And when I say inspiring, I look at other people and the way that they move, and I feel like I'm much more open to copy or I would say mirror their movements and interact. I feel like the barriers to keep to yourself have been lowered a bit more, and I don't know, the sound that creation offers is more of a guided flow, a bit more like go with what you feel in that moment feels right, and follow those thoughts, and also look to other people to see if that they are also on that same level, and to interact. And like you said, creation is never the same. The dynamics that you have between people are also never the same, because you'll always be surrounded by other people during the different sessions. And I feel like that is so playful for me, is to just want to interact and I don't know how you say, like waltz a bit with other people. And I feel like that is for me very freeing, and also the idea of feeling freed because of other people and because of how other bodies move, and not necessarily the same way that I would move, is just it's a nice idea to just, I don't know, follow into that. I like that a lot. So with no further ado, I think we're gonna show you how I translate creation.
Your excitement is exciting for me. I'm remembering excitement. It's like when they say, you know how you look based on how someone else looks at you. Seeing the excitement on your face brings out the excitement in me. It reminds me that I'm beautiful, that there's something special about me. It's because I can see that there's something special about you too. Really? Why don't you like dancing alone? That's real. That's true. alone. I'm not worried about someone else's rhythm. I'm learning how to move with myself. And then when I dance with someone, I can share what moves I've learned. You know? You can show them where to go. You can show them where to go. 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 It's one thing to figure out how your body moves when you're with another person, but it's another thing to figure out how your body moves when you're with yourself. Because then you kind of know a little bit more of what you want to do when you're with them.
I don't know if there's anyone out there that is also moving to the music instead of listening, but I feel also with this last track that you can sense this calming down in the body, this slowing down in movement. And from this, the landscape of creation is where we translate into the landscape of returning. The music slows down and becomes softer, and we stop moving the body. And instead, we listen to the movement that is generated from within. So instead of bringing the body in motion, we bring the movement from the inside. So start to follow the impulses that are created, start to follow the energy that flows. And it really is a practice to have the ability to create this deeper sense of listening to the body. It's not just something that drops in and is there. I feel also it is a practice. And not only this, like not only listening to the body, but I feel throughout these years with the Pulse, I think the things that keep coming back is how do we practice to stay open, and how do we practice to stay honest towards ourselves, towards our body, but also then how that ripples out or pulses out throughout the people that we interact with. Yeah.
I feel like for me as well, with the last landscape returning, it's after creation where you're inspired by others. You take all that energy and inspiration that you've built up during the interactions, and you get back to yourself. I feel like you get back to how you felt during. Yeah. Okay. I'm so distracted because of all of this stuff. But anyways, for return, I feel like it's super warming to, after the whole journey that you've been through with all the landscapes, to come back to yourself and return to this, I don't know, exhaled type of version where you've picked up a lot of stuff, you've built up a lot of energy, and you've been able to release all of that, and most likely even more. So I feel with return, it's calmness and clarity and being able to hear yourself think a bit clearer again. I love doing the sessions after like an energetic day, and then being able to come home and feeling like you've truly, I don't know, done this crazy workout for the brain and the body, and then just sit with that quiet and calm space in your mind. So I hope that return through sound gives you a bit more of an idea of what we're talking about.
If you listened to this or moved with us, we're really thankful that you did. It was a new experience for us, but we love experiment. On the 12th of, I wrote the dates down, on the 12th of April, we're going to have our very first session back in Brussels. What's this area called? Anderlecht?
Yeah.
So it would be amazing to see some of you there. It's going to be a monthly session from then on. And also, as we just arrived in the city, we're very open to new collaborations. So we're talking to a few musea, new spaces, festivals. So if you're curious to find out more, you can find us on Instagram. Do I tell the link here, or is that in the show notes?
We can put it in the sound bit, like.
Perfect.
We'll make
Then we do
sure
that.
that we get it to you guys.
Write us on Instagram. Also, we're looking to expand our team, so if you're interested in joining the team, you can also write us on Instagram.
Definitely.
That's it.
I think for what is so exciting as volunteer is that you have different departments and different ways to express your talents or express your curiosities with us. So I feel like if for any reason you feel this being drawn in by the PULSÐ, go for it, contact us. There's a bit of everything for everyone. Sound, movement, visuals, behind the scenes, anything. So I feel regarding that, we're more than happy to welcome you. Thank you once again. And
This is Erykah from the sound team, and I'm Romy, I'm the founder of the PULSÐ. Looking forward to the next.
thank you for listening.
Mm-hmm.